Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. Thank you for being here. Your reading is officially activated. These are timeless readings. They come alive when you click on them, when you watch them, you witness them, you bring them into self and consider. That is what brings the lifeblood here. So welcome. It is a great honor to commune with you. We begin with the energy of the lovers. This is an archetype of union, not necessarily romantic love, although maybe you are here looking for some advice. Maybe you're looking for some clarity. Maybe you're just looking for, that one person out there that you can just freaking put up with, right? But you might also be here for other things. Not everybody's looking for love, at least not romantic love. So this card is an indicator that things are coming together, right? That there are aspects of your life that maybe at some time were at odds. Things like your work life with your family, schedule, insane. But things have changed. The variables have moved. And we are unifying. I know, I'm doing my hand stuff. Don't worry, I'm not on NyQuil right now. As you can tell, I'm on my third round of being sick since the school year started. As soon as elementary school starts, it is just open season on parents, right? Just absolutely. And it's wild because I supplement a lot. I eat clean. What's the word? I take me vitamins and honey, local honey, all of the little drinks, the apple cider, fire stuff, the elderberry, all of it. And you know what? These kids don't care. They're still bringing home the germs. I will say, though, I don't stay sick as long as I was last year, so that's been nice. So anyways, thank you for clicking on the reading. I want to talk about this. We have some issues in the household. I feel like, what does that say? Coal? C-O-A-L, coal. Like the, from the fire. Like, they used to, power everything on coal at the turn of the last century, right? During the Industrial Revolution, probably markedly one of the huge shifts in humanity, right? Also for our environment. We won't get into that, but you know what I'm saying if you know what I'm saying. Now, it seems that there's some issues going on at home. Now, I feel that for you, you are in this point in your life where everything is about getting to that point where maybe you can just trust in some kind of consistency. I feel like, this could be like a wish for retirement. I have to almost kind of cry in my head every time I say retirement anymore. Who the heck is going to be able to retire? I don't know. But it's a nice thought, right? It's a nice dream. Now, my husband, shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. He listens to a lot of, I always call him Gordon Ramsay. It's not. His name is Dave Ramsey. He's a financial guy. So that gives me a little hope, but who knows? Who knows? The world is just absolutely absurd lately. So we'll see. All right. Let's see. We have that coal. We have a person up here. Okay, this to me really feels like there was somebody in your life who left early. Okay, now maybe they went off to war. Maybe maybe this is like an older brother. He went to college. He never came back. He started his life somewhere. This might be a father that, went out to get a pack of smokes and never came back type of deal. I don't know exactly who it is, but it feels fundamental. It feels like an aspect of your household was lacking, at least how you perceived it at that time, okay? So for you, I think there's a lot of emphasis in being there, right? Maybe, you are still raising your kids. Maybe your kids are grown. They're raising their own kids. Maybe those kids have kids. You might be a great a grandparent by this time. But the fact remains that you, in the adversity of this loss, of this dynamic shift as a child, had decided that you would never do that. You would never take a job on the other side of the world. You would never go off to war and not come back. You would never, give up on trying to raise your family and, walking away. Now, let me just say, I am not judging. If you did walk away from your family, if you've thought about walking away from your family, if circumstances led to a separation of family, no judgment. Let me also say, and I mean this from my heart, and I say this as somebody who is orphaned. Okay, my parents died when I was 11 and 12. And because of the way that I was raised and the trauma that me and my siblings endured, I barely remember them. I have a few memories of my parents, direct memories. So I'm somebody who kind of understands what it is to feel abandoned. And I still say this with my whole heart. Sometimes when we walk away from situations, sometimes when people have to give up their children, they have to leave the marriage, they have to give up custody, whatever it is, that is most likely the hardest thing they will ever do. And I honor people in making decisions that benefit their children more than them, right? And who wants to leave their kids? Really? I don't think very many people do, and sometimes they have to. So let me just say, that's my little caveat here, my little rant, my little ramble. Hopefully not too many more. But I want to let you know that if you had ever thought about doing this, which I'm sure most of us have at one point or another, right? No judgment. If you had to do this, no judgment. If you are a person who grew up with that loss, your parent left, your father left, your mother passed away, whatever, I hold you in my heart and I understand that pain. Now, I do feel like for you, it really is kind of the opposite, where you just won't leave, for better or worse sometimes, right? You just stick it out. You stick in there. And, sometimes that can be quite difficult, right? Sometimes it feels like you're giving everything of yourself over to a life that doesn't always feel like it's yours. Right? And so I feel like there is a lot of reflecting on this lately. Now, I'm guessing that you are out of the murk of it all, right? In the weeds. When the babies are newborns, when they're young, when they're teenagers and they're getting in trouble and talking back and you're just 100%, just trying to survive it all. It feels like maybe these times are already past. I feel like maybe this is a time where you are looking back and you're thinking, I could have left at any time. I could have done anything else. I could have backtracked. I could have gone forward. I could have gone left, right, upside down, whatever. But you know what I did? I stayed. And I did my best. And maybe, your kids are still in therapy. Most of us should be, no matter what, right? But that's, that's life. That's parenting. That's family. Sometimes we're going to do the wrong thing. Sometimes we make the selfish decision. Sometimes, man, we just don't know better. But here's the deal. Now you do know better. And now it's time for you to start working on letting go of some of the shame, letting go of some of the regret, letting go of the remorse that you might feel. Well, I don't know, maybe not getting rid of the remorse. Maybe you feel the remorse, you notice it, you think it, you integrate it, and in a way you let it go. You have to be more kind with yourself, Sagittarius. You are really judgmental. You're so judgmental. With yourself. With yourself. Here's the big thing. With yourself. You are constantly holding yourself up to other people. Or your idea of what it should have been. But it wasn't. And you know what? That's okay. Do the work. Absolve yourself. They were mistakes. They were little mistakes. But you know what? You've triumphed as well. You were there. You were there. And you loved your kids. And you love your kids. Or whoever it is. Maybe it's your cats, your dogs, your nieces, your grandkids, whoever. Maybe it's your brother that you had to take care of when your parents passed away. Whoever it is. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a pat on your back. And remember, you were there. And that's what counts. All right, let's keep moving. So, the house. We're talking about the house. The house is the big thing. It's family. It's house. It's, I feel like I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on. The solar bombardment that we're going through is wild. Okay. So if you are unaware, which I'm sure you're not, if you're here, you probably are pretty up on things. We have had a series of extreme solar flares, storms, right? Some of them are headed towards us, some of them not. The ones that have, we've had northern lights, but we've also had lots of other effects. Headaches, anxiety, heart palpitations, poor sleep. And really just seeing things for what they are. Being in a situation and just seeing like, yo, this is not working. I don't care which way we spin it. I don't care what bow we put on it. This is not working. Something's got to change. I think a lot of us are feeling this right now. There's nowhere to hide from it. Energetically, the earth is responding to the sun. We got it coming from beneath us. We got it coming from above us. It is all through us. It is through everything. And there is nowhere to hide. It's all coming out. Have you seen around you? Look at your friends' social media. Tell me how many people are going through it. How many people are breaking up. How many people are, just giving up on things. Working out. Getting their life together, their plans. It's not easy right now. Nothing is easy right now. Except to see what things are, because it's very clear. So I look to this cup, this bowl, which really is a bowl, and I see up here we have the house. Okay, we have the house. Now down here we have, if you could imagine, a yard full of stuff, right? Junk, emotional junk, old resentments, old worries, jealousy, insecurities, things that you keep bringing on out every time something new shows up in your life. You pull out all this stuff and you end up spending so much time looking at it, playing with it. It's almost like, okay, have you ever known somebody who's a collector? I don't mean a collector like they have baseball cards like nicely graded and hung on the wall. I mean somebody who has boxes of, junk and newspapers and old cereal boxes and, piles of stuff. You know who I'm talking about, right? Have you ever been in one of those situations where you are helping them clean their house or garage or car or whatever? And it's not your stuff. So you're like, yeah, I'm helping, I'm here. Let me show you every single piece of paper I find on the floor and ask if you want to keep it, type of deal. And guess what? They want to keep it all. And they spend forever looking at it because they love it. They cherish their things. Fine. That's, if you can hear a little bit of anxiety in my voice, I have to say my first husband was a bit of a hoarder. He was a collector. He was a sneakerhead, right? Among other hip hop and urban wear. I don't even know what they call it anymore. That's like such an outmoded way of saying it. We were both graffiti people, street art people. We were making graffiti. We were out there making graffiti. That sounds I feel so old when I talk sometimes. I was out there getting up. But yeah, so I lived with somebody like that. You can hear the anxiety in my voice when I think about it. It was a really hard thing to get somebody who wants to keep everything to get rid of a couple things, right? So now let's use that mindset and put that on our old stuff, right? Not our physical stuff, our emotional stuff. Now, I think that maybe as I'm talking about this, I am feeling like I am outing myself because I think I am. I am a trauma hoarder. Is that that might be dismissive of my trauma. I am somebody who is like Schmeagol about my pain. Right? Little beautiful artifacts of pain. All of the little terrible and big terrible and the medium terribles. I keep those suckers in my little pouch and bring them out every time something good happens. Every time something fishy happens. Every time the wind shifts, I bring out my little gems and I start looking at them. And this is what I feel like is going on here sometimes with you. Things move forward. They get better. You get that new job. You get the okay on the moving into the dope new apartment. Whatever it is that the chick from work finally texted you back. And, there's no, I don't know. Are you allowed to date people from work anymore? I work with my husband, so I hope so. Yeah, I don't know. Are you allowed to date at work? Okay, wherever you met this person, right? They finally texted you back, and it's all reasonable and consensual, right? And they texted you back, and it's yes. And then, yeah, all of a sudden that thing hits. Well, now I got to go think about how I didn't get to see my grandma before she passed. You know what I mean? It's like I meet this good news with now I'm going to go home and eat a TV dinner by myself and think about, the time that this really happened to me. I was in a play in high school, and one of my good friends, George, we're not friends anymore. I wonder why. We were moving something off of the stage, as you do, and for the next scene, and he pushed me too hard. I fell on my back off the side of the stage in front of the whole. I wasn't a senior. I was maybe a sophomore, junior in high school. That's second or third year. The whole senior class was there to watch what we called previews of the plays. They would come during the middle of the day. The plays were at night after school, but they would get like a little piece of the play. And so anyways, he pushed me and I fell straight back, right off in front of everybody. And I cried. Oh yes, I cried. I cried. And yeah, sometimes when that chick finally texts me back, oh yes, I'm going to go think about that time that I fell in front of 300 people. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do, isn't it? This is what we do. So, don't do that. Don't be me. Don't be me. You have good news coming. The foundation is solid, dude. Things are good. Getting better. Getting better. Trust in it. Trust in it. I promise you, in 1 year from now, you're going to look back and you're going to think, I don't even remember what it was like before all of this. Now, I don't know what the big change is. I want to keep looking. But I feel like, and I keep looking at this down here, I feel so much like it has to do with faith. And it has to do with your house being aligned in, well, maybe their belief or maybe, you and your significant other, you and your roommate, you and your, grandchild that lives with you or whatever. You start going and doing something together like yoga, breathing practices, going back to church, going back to mosque, going back to temple. I always want to hit all of the Abrahamics because, that's what most people understand here. So something where this spirituality, faith, this belovedness, this thing that it's sacred to you, it's important, and you bring it into the home and share it with your people, and they are accepting, and they are just as enthralled as you. And this is what it feels like, finally getting into that place where there's just this synergy. And yet, right, we want to question it. We want to analyze it. We want to ask, what the heck's going on here? Or, why couldn't it have been like this for the whole time? Why have I had to wait so long? Stop asking all these questions. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Don't be me. Just go along for the ride for a little while. Do the work. You're doing the work. Let yourself enjoy something. I am not asking you. I'm telling you. Enjoy something for a little while. You deserve it. Of course you do. But you need it. Listen to me, sister. Listen to me, brother. Listen to me, kindred spirit. You deserve it. You need it. You need it. You need it. We need it. All right, here. Now I want to pull this out. We have the face of a person right here. Okay, eyes, nose, mouth. Now, I want to talk to this person. I want to figure out who this is because it feels like we have the X's and O's over here. Let me show you. X, O, O, X, X, O. So it feels like this is, I don't know. I want to keep looking. We're going to keep looking. We're going to bring this over here. We'll come back to you. It does look like, and I'm going to put this over here. It does look like it's 5, 5, 6. Then we have 6, 1, 8. 5, 5, 6, 6, 1, 8. Okay, I want to talk to this person. Who is this? And we're also going to use my little Thoth deck because I've been really feeling these ones lately. Okay, so first of all, we're going to use that to help us kind of narrow down who this might be. It's a masculine person, and they have transcended. So they are not with us anymore. It feels like an older person, but not necessarily like older than you, maybe. I don't know. Maybe within your peer group. Okay, so we have a Knight of Swords. So we have a very logical person, but like I said, maybe a little younger. Somebody who grew up with some money, for sure. Ooh, okay. So I feel like this is almost like somebody who left the comfort of their family, their money, because they had to find themselves. They had to find themselves through education, through work, through maybe religion, maybe spirituality, but this feels like maybe it's more along the lines of the logical. Okay, so their life really didn't work out the way that they wanted it to. It felt like towards the end there was a lot of lamenting. Okay, so I think that you probably know this person mostly in this stage of their life where they felt like they just didn't do the thing, right? That whatever they had hoped their life was going to be, it did not end up that way. So there is like kind of a lot of psychic resonance that is painful here, okay? Now, I want to look at what is their message for you. We have domination, versatility, and practicality. Okay, now, one more here, independence. Okay, so I feel like the big message here is a lot about learning how to control your expectations, your emotions, your reactions. Because, right, you are a fairly hyper independent person because you always have had to be. You have not been able to trust that people are going to do what they say they're going to do. So you've always just kind of done your stuff for yourself, right? You're practical. And yes, you are versatile. But I do feel like this domination, it's all about learning how to go into a situation and be more open to going with how things kind of transpire. Right? Instead of constantly running into these roadblocks where it's like, well, I didn't want to do it this way, or you said it was going to be this and now it's that. And, you know, these kinds of things that you get like stuck on. I think that's the big deal is you get stuck on first the fairness of things, but also things not going how you perceived them to probably go. You anticipated them. And so I feel like this person coming through is like a real indicator of don't be me. Don't do what I did, right? Don't get so like stuck on one idea about life that if that thing doesn't work out the way that you wanted it to, your life feels completely like a failure. Okay? And I think that's, you know, that's one of the things. You have to kind of expand your horizons. Try many different things. Get out of your comfort zone. Okay? Now we're going to take a look here. We have the trees and the moon. We have the orchard and the moon. So we're going night side. You're going to be having some trouble sleeping, I think. Visions, though. Lots of imagery in your mind late at night. Okay? Now, I want you to go into the night orchard. I want you to, tonight, when you can't sleep, when you wake up in the middle of the night, I want you to remember this. I want you to bring this forward within yourself. I want you to think of an orchard. It is at the bottom of a hill. Okay? It is dark. An orchard, do you know what that is? It is a place where fruit trees often grow. It doesn't have to be fruit trees, but it's easier in my mind, right? You're thinking of an apple orchard, you're thinking of peaches, olives, whatever. So you're descending into this orchard. It's late at night. It's dark. You can barely see anything. The moon is there, but she's not giving all the light, okay? Now, in your pocket, it is your right pocket. You put your hand, feel it as you're walking down towards the orchard. You can feel, what is that? What are you feeling in there? Now, Wrap your fingers around it and pull it out. Pull it out. Look at it. It's in your right hand. Can you see it? Raise it towards the moon. Look at it. What is that? What is that thing that was in your pocket? Remember that. Take it with you. Now, bring it down into the orchard. Okay? Hold it in your hand. Hold it tight. Put it in your left hand now. Hold it tight. I want you to say a prayer. I want you to say a prayer to who? I don't know. Whoever you pray to. You know. Now I want you to find the tree. You know the tree. Look around. Look up. Look down. Where is she? Look for her. She's waiting for you. Go to her. And when you find her, I want you to sit next to her down at the foot of this tree. I want you to lean towards her. Find your comfort. Now that thing, it's in your left hand. Remember, don't forget about it. I want you to give that to her. Now you can bury it if you want at her foot so her roots can touch it. You can hang it. You can set it gently against her. I want you to remember, what is that thing? And what will you do with it? How will you give this to the tree? Your tree. The tree that has been waiting for you. The tree that you know. You've been there so many times. Then I want you to thank yourself. And I want you to go back to sleep. And I want you to go back to sleep. Take that with you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Let's go ahead. We're going to do our lucky numbers. 47. 55. 75. Beautiful. And we'll end with one of our gratitude affirmation cards. And it says, majestic peaks, I am thankful for the exhilaration of mountaintop experiences. I view physical triumphs, emotional breakdowns, and spiritual revelations as magnificent summits in my life. Epic journal for the journey. And spiritual revelations as magnificent summits in my life's epic journey. Practice. Recall a time you reached a physical, emotional, and spiritual mountaintop. Relive the thrill you felt. Well, for me, because the last year and a half or so has been the most active I've ever been in my whole life. And if you've been here on my channel journey with me, or our channel journey, really, this channel is as much yours as it is mine, then you'll know I've been on a wellness journey for myself, and I lost over 100 pounds. Yeah, I did. 100, I think it's almost like 120 or 30 by now. I stopped keeping track, just because, I don't know, that was never really like the main goal for me. The goal was like stamina and endurance, and to be able to mentally be in the thing, like overcome my, I don't want to get out of bed, I don't want to, I don't want to ride bike for 30 miles, I don't want to, whatever, that's been the biggest thing, so yeah, man. I'm not saying that like physical stuff is like the most important. It is very important. But it's like the mental that coincides with these kinds of journeys that we find ourselves on, because it really, I don't know. I'm a strong believer. It's like 90% mental. 90%. Now, of course, there are physical limitations. Of course. So we all have to like modify things for ourselves. But yeah, think about that stuff that you've done, right? some machine came on that I've never heard in the house. So in my office here, I'm like backed up to a room. We call it the machine room. It has like all the like where the water softener is, and the hot water tank thing or whatever. And sometimes I hear things I've never heard before, and I'm like, yo, what is that sound? A little bit of fear. But anyways, I love you. We'll talk soon. Take care of yourself. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, please do. And goodbye.